James Thomas Morning Blend. There is a new, groundbreaking new professional wrestling league, and they're celebrating 1 year on TNT. It's AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And we have the star of AEW and Executive Vice President, Cody Rhodes. Good morning, Cody.
Good morning. How are you?
Man, I'm good. That was fun, man. What I was looking at was good.
Oh, it's the best. The wrestling's the most fun thing on earth, especially if you don't know what you're dipping your toe into, and then the next thing you know, you watch it, and hopefully one of these characters speaks to you. That's the whole thing. Somebody reaching across the aisle, and then you're hooked.
Now you know what, you're stepping out on your own with this as executive vice president on this. So this is a brand new wrestling league. So this is almost like a brand new startup, isn't it?
Very much so. It's a very large startup in terms of the scope and the production and the partnership with TNT. I think the bar was all over the place when we started last October 2nd. Now heading into 1 year, but for us to be the first alternative wrestling program, alternative to WWE in 20 years, and for us to become a top 5 cable series just within the first few weeks of the debut. We've now, I guess, transcended the startup point. It's like, oh, all right, that was great. We saw what the little engine that could do. Show us in year 2 if you have any more of that left, and we certainly do.
From Series A's and moving on. That's what it is. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, AEW is the brainchild of several EVPs, but most importantly, Tony Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his in his mind, he's been a wrestling promoter since he was a little kid, and the fact that he wanted to do a wrestling program, he's got notebooks from when he was a youngster watching, and it was a situation where we had these free agents in wrestling that typically would go somewhere else, but the 4 of us decided we were going to link up in this fashion. We were going to sell this show to TNT, and they were going to love it, and hopefully the fans would love it because it's been something that there's been this brewing fan base for, and everyone in wrestling, in the data, had seen it, and we were able to validate that and prove people who are on our side right with that first year of TNT. It's a wrestling company that is owned, operated, run creatively by wrestlers, and that's been very helpful to us.
It really sounds like it with your experience. Cody, does this actually open up the arena for wrestlers who couldn't get on WWE?
I think it's opening up just the world in terms of wrestling to all different platforms. Wrestlers from WWE, like I was myself, Miro, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, but also wrestlers that perhaps their brands weren't being able to be seen on the largest level. Independent stars, people like Darby Allin, people like Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and then internationally, treating this very much like a snapshot of our real world in 2020, where you have a women's champion like Shida from Japan, and her specialness and her unique flavor that she provides to the show. We really just wanted to open all our doors and drop all our bridges to all different walks of life from all across the world, and be very diverse in what we were putting out there.
Cody, how did you feel about going out and doing this? You had the support and you had other people working with you, but how did you personally feel about making this happen?
This has been a dream come true. I was born into the industry. My father was a professional wrestler, my brother, and I had this life's education. Where else could I apply it other than a wrestling company where I'm able to have this wonderful position as the executive vice president? For me personally, it's really romantic. It's really almost like a storybook. The fact that my father was once on Turner Networks and the face of that company when WCW and the NWA were on TBS, and now 3 decades later, basically, I'm on TNT on a weekly basis. There's Rhodes again on Turner's great networks, and the fact that wrestling is being enjoyed on such a large scale on Wednesday nights as a wrestler and longtime fan. Again, storybook, dream come true.
Definitely. Cody Rhodes, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend and talking about the All Elite Wrestling AEW that's on TNT. But before we go, Cody, you got to do one favor for me.
Yes.
Give me that face, man. I love that look, that stare. Give me that stare.
Like a mean stare?
Oh, yeah, man. I love it. Oh, Cody, thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.